Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, your sanctuary for calm, clarity, and timeless Buddhist insights. Are you over 40 and seeking a deeper understanding of life's challenges? Then you've come to the right place. On this channel, we explore the practical applications of Buddhist wisdom for navigating the complexities of modern life. We delve into the profound teachings that can transform suffering into strength, offering guidance and inspiration for your journey. Remember to like this video if you want to explore this path together, and subscribe if you want to join this community so you don't miss out on future transformative content. What if I told you the greatest battles you face aren't out there in the world, but within your own mind? Life often breaks us, not through significant events, but through our stubborn clinging to how we think things should be. There's a powerful truth that says peace isn't found when life is easy, but when the mind is trained to be still, even amidst the storm. Many of us have minds so fragile that a single betrayal, a minor rejection, or a perceived failure can shatter us completely. Have you ever felt this? When overwhelming emotions drag you into chaos and you feel utterly trapped, unable to escape? What if you could train your mind to be so strong, so calm, that no storm could ever break you again? In this video, I'll share the exact Buddhist wisdom that transforms suffering into resilience, offering a path to an unbreakable mind. And stay until the end, because there's a bonus lesson that reveals the hidden key to cultivating lasting inner strength. And if you're not already part of the Wisdom and Wealth family, please click that like button below and hit subscribe. It's a small act that helps us reach more people who need these timeless insights. Let's embark on this journey together. Let's begin with number 1, the cracks of expectation. When life stubbornly refuses to unfold according to the carefully crafted narratives we've built in our minds, the heart trembles, the mind resists with all its might, and suffering pierces us far deeper than any physical wound ever could. Why? Because the story we wrote within our mind collides head-on with the unyielding reality before us. The Buddha once wisely said that expectation is the rope that pulls suffering directly into the heart. Perhaps you're feeling this truth within you right now, the sharp sting of disappointment, the dull ache of what could have been, the lingering bitterness of what should have been. Imagine a delicate clay pot with almost invisible hairline cracks. It appears whole, strong even, but the slightest fall, the gentlest bump, and it shatters. It's not the fall itself that causes the destruction, but the weakness already carried deep within the pot's structure. Our minds, bound tightly by expectations, are just like that fragile pot. A single rejection, a sudden loss, an unfulfilled dream, and suddenly the weight of life feels utterly unbearable, crushing us under its relentless pressure. But what if strength doesn't come from holding on tighter, but from consciously releasing? Picture your hand clenched tightly into a fist. Feel the strain, the tension, the concentrated effort. Now, slowly, imagine that fist opening gradually, transforming into an empty palm. In that moment, there's no battle, no demand, only pure, unadulterated peace. To release isn't to lose, it's to return to a state of fundamental freedom. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful, and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. So, ask yourself gently, what expectation is quietly breaking me right now? Perhaps it's the ingrained belief that others must always understand you, validating your thoughts and feelings. Maybe it's the unwavering conviction that your path through life must remain eternally free of setbacks and obstacles. What if, just for a moment tonight, you intentionally let go of that expectation? Can you feel how the chains around your heart begin to loosen, how the air flows more freely into your lungs? The Buddha's path teaches us that suffering isn't born from what happens to us, but from how tightly we cling to what we believe should happen. To be truly strong doesn't mean you'll never break, it means you train your mind to remain calm and centered, even when the world stubbornly refuses to bend to your carefully laid plans. This isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. Repeat these words softly to yourself, internalizing their profound meaning. I release what I cannot control. My inner peace is not tied to external outcomes. I consciously choose freedom over expectation. These aren't mere affirmations, they're tools, chisels, even, carefully carving away the hardened stone that surrounds your heart, allowing the radiant light of resilience to shine through. Observe how expectations subtly sneak in, whispering, "Things must go my way." Each time you notice this deceptive intrusion, gently return to your breath, return to the image of the open palm. That's where true strength is born and nurtured. Remember, storms never break the sky, they only pass through it. In the same way, when life breaks hard against you, your trained, calm mind becomes like unbreakable steel, deflecting the blows and preserving your inner peace. And so, I leave you with a powerful question. When tomorrow arrives and life inevitably tests you again, will you choose to hold tightly to the fraying rope of expectation, or will you open your palm and actively choose freedom? The answer is yours, and the choice has the remarkable power to transform your deepest suffering into unwavering strength. Second, cultivating calmness, the armor no blade can pierce. Can silence truly protect you more effectively than sheer physical strength? When the world strikes hard and unexpectedly, the natural instinct is to fight back, to resist with every fiber of your being, to meet chaos with an equal and overwhelming force. Yet the Buddha reminded us that still waters have the extraordinary ability to swallow the most violent storms without resistance. What if the greatest armor you could ever wear wasn't forged of steel, but of unwavering calmness? Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. Think of the vast ocean. Mighty rivers rush into it with incredible speed and fury, carrying mud, stones, and all sorts of debris. Yet the ocean remains vast, profoundly unmoved, and unfathomably deep. It doesn't shrink back from the river's rage, nor does it lose its fundamental essence. Instead, it swallows everything, and in time, it even transforms the mud into peaceful silence. Your mind, when trained in the art of calmness, can become that very ocean. When anger, disappointment, or grief relentlessly flow toward you, they lose their destructive sharpness in the depths of your stillness. There's a hidden power in calmness that many people often overlook and underestimate. Anger might feel strong and empowering in the moment, but it ultimately drains your energy reserves, clouds your judgment, and binds you even tighter to the chains of suffering. Calmness, on the other hand, clears your vision, protects your heart, and transforms what could potentially break you into something that ultimately refines you, strengthening your spirit in ways you couldn't have imagined. When life breaks you hard, the calm mind is the unbreakable shield that protects you from further harm. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in deeply, as though you're inhaling the vast ocean, cool, deep, and infinitely expansive. Exhale slowly, as though you're releasing gentle waves that gracefully return to stillness. Each breath is a powerful lesson. Storms pass, but the ocean remains. This is a profound strength that no blade of chaos can ever pierce. Whisper these truths to yourself, internalizing their profound wisdom. My calmness is my true strength. In stillness, I cannot be broken. Peace is my shield. These words aren't just sounds, they're reminders of the ocean that already resides within you. When you actively practice them daily, calmness stops being a fragile state and transforms into your constant companion, your unwavering ally. Think back to a moment in your life when calmness saved you, serving you far better than anger ever could. Perhaps, in the midst of a heated argument, your silence softened what could have escalated into a destructive conflict. Maybe, in the face of profound loss, your calmness provided you with the strength to endure what felt unbearable. What if calmness wasn't something you found occasionally, but the weapon you carried always? The Buddhist path teaches that true strength isn't about winning battles in the outer world, but about mastering the storms within the mind. A mind disciplined in stillness cannot be pierced by the shifting blades of circumstance. Every challenge becomes a valuable opportunity to return to the depth of your inner ocean. And so, the question rests with you. The next time life rushes at you with its full force, will you become the storm, or will you be the ocean that swallows it whole, transforming chaos into peace? For when calmness is your shield, even the hardest blows cannot break you. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "My silence protects me." If you're enjoying this journey to inner peace and strength, remember to like this video and subscribe to Wisdom and Wealth for more insightful content. Your support helps us share these valuable teachings with others. Let's move on to number 3, detachment without closing the heart. Is letting go the same as not caring? This is a profound fear that many hold deep within their hearts, the fear that to detach is to abandon, that to release is to lose love. Yet, Buddhist wisdom whispers a softer, more nuanced truth: to hold love without chains is to set both souls free. Detachment isn't the absence of care, but the presence of freedom within love. Picture a small bird resting peacefully in your open palm. It stays because it feels no threat, no pressure, no invisible prison. But if you clench your fist tightly around it, out of fear of losing it, it struggles, suffocates, and ultimately slips away. In the same way, when we cling too tightly to people, outcomes, or even cherished dreams, we crush the very life we wish to protect. Detachment is the art of holding with gentle kindness, of allowing life to breathe and unfold naturally, and of understanding that ultimately, nothing truly belongs to us. When your heart practices this profound wisdom, love transforms. It's no longer rooted in fear, but in freedom. This is the kind of love that nourishes, that heals, that lasts. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. Take a moment and imagine holding a handful of sand. If your hand is relaxed and open, the grains rest there peacefully. But the tighter you grip, the faster they slip through your fingers. Life is much the same: the more you try to control it, the more restless it becomes. True peace comes not from gripping harder, but from consciously loosening your hold. Repeat softly within yourself: I let go without bitterness. My love doesn't depend on control. Detachment creates space for deep compassion. These affirmations aren't meant to distance your heart, but to widen it, to expand its capacity for unconditional love so that it may flow freely, without the constricting walls of fear and expectation. Ask yourself, what have I been gripping too tightly lately? Perhaps it's the rigid idea that someone must never change, or the belief that your worth somehow depends on their approval. What if loosening that grip, just for tonight, gave you a profound sense of peace, without taking away any of your love? In Buddhist practice, detachment doesn't harden the heart, it purifies it. It removes the poison of control, leaving behind the clear, refreshing water of compassion. When you let go of those heavy chains, you discover that love isn't smaller, but vastly larger. You no longer say, "You are mine," but instead, "May you be free. May you be happy." And so, when life breaks you hard, remember that clinging will only deepen the cracks in your heart. Release with kindness and your heart will remain whole. The strongest mind isn't the one that controls, but the one that trusts. Now, take a moment to reflect. What in your life needs the gentle touch of an open palm? For the moment you release that tight grip, you'll see that letting go isn't the end of love, it's the beginning of true peace. Number 4, mastering the mind and the power of disciple. Who truly controls your mind, you or your thoughts? In the quiet stillness of night, when your heart feels heavy and your mind refuses to rest, this question becomes unavoidable. The Buddha wisely warned us, the undisciplined mind is like a restless horse that throws its rider. If your thoughts run wild, they'll inevitably drag you into fear, anger, and despair. But if you learn the silent discipline of thought, you can ride with clarity, calmness, and unwavering strength. Picture a candle flame flickering wildly in a gust of wind. Its light is unstable, unsteady, unable to guide or illuminate effectively. But when the air is still and calm, the flame glows steadily, casting its warm light and dispelling the darkness. Your mind is much like that flame. Without discipline, every distraction, every sudden fear, every painful memory makes it flicker uncontrollably. But when you cultivate stillness through consistent practice, your mind becomes unshakable, and its radiant light reveals the clearest path ahead. Training your mind isn't about silencing all thoughts, but about carefully guiding them and gently redirecting their course. Imagine a wild horse running in a chaotic stampede across an open field. Left completely alone, it will exhaust itself and destroy everything in its path. But with gentle reins, it can be guided, calmed, and led with clear purpose. Your awareness is those very reins. Each time you consciously return to your breath, each time you intentionally pause before reacting, you're reminding the horse that you are the master here. Whisper softly to yourself, I master my thoughts, not the other way around. Discipline is my path to freedom. My silence is my strength. These words remind you that your inner world doesn't have to be dictated by the chaos around you. Silence isn't emptiness, silence is the fertile ground where true strength is born. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. Try this now, take a deep breath and visualize reins tightening gently around a restless horse. Feel its initial struggle, its resistance to your control. Then, sense it slowly calming, responding to your gentle lead. This is the discipline of thought, not force, but conscious guidance, not suppression, but mastery. Ask yourself, what thought pattern currently controls me? Is it the pervasive fear that I might fail? Is it the painful memory of a past I cannot forget? And then imagine how your life would feel if you were the rider again, holding steady reins, actively guiding your mind instead of being relentlessly dragged by it. The profound difference between suffering and peace is found in this act of mastery. Buddhism teaches us that a disciplined mind brings happiness, just as a well-tamed horse safely carries its rider to their intended destination. To train your mind isn't a form of punishment, it's an act of liberation. For when the inevitable storm comes, the undisciplined mind breaks, but the trained mind stands calm, like a candle whose flame never wavers. So, I leave you with this: when life breaks you, will you allow your restless thoughts to throw you into darkness, or will you consciously take the reins and ride with unwavering strength? The answer holds the key to the profound difference between bondage and ultimate freedom. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "My silence protects me." 5. Turning pain into inner fire. Can suffering truly be the very thing that strengthens you? When life breaks you, it often feels as though pain is only about destruction and only about loss. Yet in the silence of Buddhist wisdom, we are reminded that the wound is where wisdom begins. Pain isn't always your enemy, sometimes it is the intense fire that forges you into something greater. Think of coal, buried deep within the earth. On its own, it seems ordinary, fragile, even worthless. But under immense pressure, it transforms into a diamond, unbreakable, radiant, and rare. In the same way, the pain you carry isn't just a scar, it's the pressure that can transform your spirit into clarity, compassion, and enduring strength. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. Suffering cracks open the rigid shell of illusion, stripping away what is false, what is temporary, and forcing you to see what truly matters. The brokenness you feel isn't a sign of weakness, it's the beginning of a profound transformation. The Buddha never promised a path without suffering, he taught us how to walk through it with wisdom, until pain becomes the very ground where strength is born. Close your eyes and bring to mind the wounds you carry. Now, instead of seeing them as dark scars, imagine them glowing like pure gold, radiating a warm and powerful light throughout your body. This light is strength, born from your suffering, rising from deep within you. Pain is no longer the weight that drags you down, it's the very flame that lifts you up. Repeat these words with quiet conviction: my pain is a teacher. Every scar is hidden strength in plain sight. I rise, not despite my pain, but because of it. These aren't just affirmations, they're the truth you discover when you stop running from pain and start listening to it. Reflect now: what wound has shaped my strength? What vital lesson is my current pain trying to teach me? Every hardship, every heartbreak, every seemingly insurmountable disappointment is carrying a hidden gift, a wisdom that only suffering can reveal. Perhaps it's patience, perhaps it's resilience, perhaps it's a deep compassion for others who suffer, too. When you truly understand this, suffering loses its insidious power to break you. The wound no longer defines you, it refines you, like fire purifying gold. Your pain burns away illusions and leaves only what is essential, only what is profoundly true. And so, when life breaks you hard, remember this: pain isn't the end of your journey, it's the forge of your becoming. The coal within you is waiting to become a brilliant diamond. The wound in your heart is waiting to shine as enduring wisdom. The next time suffering enters your life, ask not, "Why me?" but, "What is this fire trying to create within me?" For the moment you embrace pain as a teacher, you discover that nothing can truly destroy you, you can only rise stronger. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. 6. The gentle power of patience. Why do we break when things don't happen on our preferred timeline? The heart grows restless, the mind grows anxious, and we feel as though life has somehow abandoned us. Yet the Buddha's wisdom reminds us, a tree doesn't force its fruit to ripen. Life has its own natural rhythm, and when we resist it, we suffer. Think of the river flowing against a towering mountain. It doesn't strike with violence, nor does it demand that the mountain move at once. Instead, it flows patiently, year after year, until stone itself is subtly carved by its gentle persistence. In the same way, patience carries a quiet power that no force can ever match. Impatience shatters us because it's born from the illusion of control. We want things to unfold on our rigid schedule, and when they don't, we feel defeated. But patience teaches us a higher truth, that what is truly meant to be will come, in its perfect season. The flower doesn't bloom in the dead of winter, and yet it never doubts the eventual arrival of spring. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as a seed, resting peacefully beneath the soil. Darkness surrounds you, and nothing seems to move. Yet, deep within, life is stirring. You cannot rush the sun, nor can you demand the rain, but in unwavering trust, you rest, knowing that one day, the soil will break and you will rise into the radiant light. This is patience, a strength that is gentle, yet unbreakable. Whisper softly within, "I trust the timing of life." Patience builds what haste destroys. I am at peace with slow unfolding. These affirmations aren't just words, they're reminders that the world moves not by your frantic pushing, but by a rhythm far greater than you can comprehend. Ask yourself, what am I trying to force that should be allowed to unfold naturally? What weight could be lifted if I chose the path of patience instead of the demanding path of control? Often, it's our own hurry that breaks us, not life itself. The impatient mind says, "I must have this now." But wisdom whispers, it will come when the season is right. Buddhism teaches that waiting isn't emptiness, it's preparation. Each delay, each pause, each moment of stillness is quietly shaping you. Just as the seed gathers strength unseen before it bursts forth from the soil. Impatience burns energy, but patience nourishes it. So, when life tests you, when your carefully laid timeline crumbles before you, do not despair. Be like the river that carves stone, like the tree that ripens fruit, like the seed that trusts the sun will come. For patience isn't weakness, it's a quiet, enduring power. And I leave you with this reflection: if you stopped forcing, stopped demanding, and started trusting the natural unfolding of events, what burdens would dissolve from your heart? Perhaps then you would see that patience isn't waiting for life to begin, it is life itself. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. 7. Resilience in the space between thoughts. Where does your true strength truly hide? When chaos attacks, when the mind is consumed by a storm of fear, doubt, and confusion, it feels as if inner peace is utterly impossible. Yet Buddhist wisdom reveals a hidden truth: between one thought and the next lies profound freedom. Your true strength doesn't always reside in relentless action, it often waits patiently in the stillness between. Think of beautiful music, it isn't only the notes that create its beauty, but the spaces in between them. Without pauses, there is no rhythm, only a chaotic and jarring noise. In the same way, your mind isn't defined by its endless stream of thoughts, but by the quiet spaces that hold them. When you rest in that sacred silence, you discover a resilience beyond measure. Chaos breaks us because we cling to thought after thought, chasing them as if they were somehow inherently real. But when you pause, you see that each thought rises, lingers momentarily, and fades away, like a passing cloud in the vast sky. You are not the storm of thoughts, you are the boundless space in which they appear. That space is indestructible. Close your eyes for a moment. Inhale deeply, then exhale completely. Now, notice the silence that lingers right after your breath leaves you, before the next inhale begins. That stillness isn't empty, it's vibrantly alive. This is the space of awareness, the refuge untouched by chaos. Affirm softly to yourself, I find refuge in the pauses. My mind is not my enemy. I rest in the space of awareness. With each repetition, notice how your breath slows, how your thoughts gently loosen their grip, how calmness begins to take root deep within your being. Ask yourself, what might I discover if I stopped chasing every fleeting thought and rested in the spaces between them? Perhaps clarity would emerge where confusion once ruled. Perhaps calmness would replace paralyzing fear. The answers you seek often don't live in the noise of constant thinking, but in the profound silence beneath it. Buddhism teaches that resilience isn't about having no thoughts, but about not being enslaved by them. When you learn to rest in the gaps, you realize that you aren't your thoughts, you are the awareness holding them. This realization is the unshakable ground, the still center that life cannot break. So, when the world crashes against you, do not only fight harder or think faster, instead, pause. Rest in the sacred silence between breaths, between thoughts, between struggles. There, you will find a resilience deeper than any conventional strength, a profound calm that cannot be pierced. And so, I leave you with this: will you continue to chase every fleeting thought as if it somehow owns you, or will you rest in the timeless silence between them? For in that sacred space, life cannot break you, it can only reveal your true self. 8. Freedom from emotional hooks. Why do the words or actions of others have the power to control us so deeply? A single insult can ruin an entire day, while a harsh look or a careless remark can stir up turbulent storms within us. The Buddha revealed the truth clearly: the fish is only caught because it bites the hook. In the same way, pain often arises not from the arrow of another's action, but from our own decision to grasp it tightly, holding onto it as if it were inherently our own. Imagine an arrow flying through the air. If it strikes empty space, it harms nothing. But when we identify with the arrow, when we let it lodge deep into our heart, suffering begins. Most words, most actions, are simply like passing arrows, they only wound when we give them a place to land. Our emotional hooks are built from pride, fear, and expectation. When someone pulls at these strings, we react automatically, handing them the power to disturb our inner peace. But freedom comes when we consciously refuse the hook, when we see clearly that their words belong solely to them, not to us. We do not need to carry poison that isn't ours. Close your eyes and visualize this. Imagine someone's harsh words thrown directly toward you. Instead of piercing you, they transform into soft feathers, dissolving harmlessly in the wind before they even touch you. This isn't denial, this is conscious mastery. You are actively choosing not to bite, and in that conscious choice, you remain free. Whisper gently within, I will not bite the hook of anger. I refuse to carry poison that isn't mine. I am free from emotional traps. These affirmations remind you that your calm doesn't depend on the behavior of others, but on your awareness of choice. Ask yourself with radical honesty, whose words have hooked me lately? Whose actions have I allowed to steal my inner peace? And now imagine how your life would feel if you didn't take the bait. What profound strength, what lightness of being, would you carry then? In Buddhist practice, freedom isn't about avoiding difficult people or challenging situations, it's about learning to meet them without harmful attachment. The arrow that once pierced you passes harmlessly through the air. The words that once changed you dissolve into nothingness. You remain rooted, unshaken, calm. So, when life breaks you hard through the actions or judgments of others, remember that you are not a fish in the river, helpless against every passing hook. You are the ocean itself, vast and unmoved, with no need to cling to what doesn't serve you. And I leave you with this reflection: when the next hook is inevitably thrown before you, will you bite in reflexive habit, or will you smile gently, letting it drift harmlessly away on the wind? For in that moment of conscious choice lies the key to your freedom and the enduring strength that no one can ever take from you. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you are unsure of what to say, just type "My silence protects me." Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. 9. The mind as an unmoving mountain. Can the mind truly remain unmoved while turbulent storms rage around it? When life crashes against you with loss, conflict, or crushing disappointment, it feels almost impossible to stay steady. Yet Buddhist wisdom reminds us, the mountain does not kneel to the wind. The mountain may feel the storm, but it doesn't surrender its ground. In the same way, your mind can learn to remain calm at its core, no matter what turbulent weather life brings. Snow may cover the mountain, rain may soak it, thunder may roar deafeningly above it, yet beneath the surface, it remains unshaken, rooted deep into the earth. This is the powerful metaphor of resilience. Your mind, when trained in stillness, doesn't deny the existence of the storm, but allows it to come and go without losing its fundamental essence. Most suffering comes when we mistakenly identify with the storm. We say, "I am the chaos, I am the anger, I am the fear." But the truth is different. You are the mountain. Thoughts, emotions, and external events are like passing weather. They may briefly change the surface, but they cannot move the ground of your being, unless you actively allow them to. Take a moment now to visualize yourself as a great mountain. See your body rooted firmly into the earth, immovable, vast, and strong. Around you, winds blow, rains fall, voices shout, yet you remain untouchable at your center. With each breath, feel yourself anchored deeper into this inner strength. Whisper to yourself with calm conviction, "I am as steady as the mountain. Storms pass, I remain. Nothing outside me can move my center." These affirmations remind you that strength isn't about resisting the storm, but about not being shaken by it. Ask yourself gently, what storm am I facing right now? Can I consciously choose to remain the mountain through it? Perhaps it's overwhelming grief, perhaps it's relentless pressure, perhaps it's paralyzing fear of the unknown. Whatever it is, see it as weather passing across the sky of your mind. You don't need to kneel to it, you need only to remain steady. Buddhism teaches that calmness isn't the absence of storms, but the presence of an unshakable center. When you remember this, every difficulty becomes an opportunity to root yourself deeper, to remember that nothing outside has the power to destroy your inner mountain. And so, when life breaks you hard, recall this truth: storms are temporary, but the mountain endures, and so can you, not by force, but by stillness. I leave you with this reflection: when the winds rise again, will you chase them as if they define you, or will you stand firm as the mountain, letting them pass? For storms may roar, but the mountain remains, and so can you. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful and subscribe if you have not already so you will be notified of similar videos. 10. Strength in letting things end. Why do endings shatter us when they are simply part of life? When the mind trains in awareness, storms still arise, but they no longer destroy. Each wave becomes an opportunity to observe, to release, and to cultivate deeper calm. So when life breaks you hard, remember that even in the fiercest storm, the sky within you remains untouched. You are not your emotions, you are not your struggles, you are the vast space that holds them. And so I leave you with this reflection: the next time clouds of anger, fear, or grief gather, will you cling to them and be tossed about, or will you rest in the sky of your awareness, calm and unbroken, letting the storm pass while your core remains infinite and free? We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type "My silence protects me." Bonus lesson: the true meaning of the unbreakable mindset is being unbreakable about never feeling pain, or is it something deeper? Many believe strength means hardness, resistance, and never yielding, yet the Buddha offers a profound Insight unshaken is the mind that does not grasp. True resilience does not come from denying life's trials, but from meeting them without clinging, without letting them define the core of who you are. Consider bamboo in the wind. It bends, sways and twists, yet it does not break. The secret is not rigidity but flexibility. By yielding to the force around it, bamboo survives storms that would splinter rigid trees. In the same way, your mind can remain unbreakable not by resisting life but by flowing with it, anchored yet flexible, aware yet unattached. Pain touches us all. Loss, disappointment, rejection, they strike like strong gusts, testing our inner strength. But unbreakable minds do not let pain dictate their essence. When suffering arrives, it is allowed to exist, observed without grasping, and eventually released. In this way, the mind stays whole, like bamboo rooted deep in the soil. Even when the wind bends it, close your eyes and picture yourself as bamboo. Feel your body moving gently with the invisible wind, bending with grace under pressure, yet held steady by your roots. Every sway is not weakness, it is a decision to survive, a display of inner strength that does not resist what cannot be stopped. This is the mystery of the unshakable mind. It is gentle where others are rigid, yielding where others struggle, yet in the end it cannot be destroyed. Whisper to yourself, I bend but I never break. Pain may reach me but it cannot shape who I am. My mind stays unbreakable through surrender. Each reminder tells me that resilience is not a war to win but a dance to embrace, a surrender that strangely gives freedom. Ask yourself, what if being unbreakable is not about resisting but about flowing? What if life storms were chances to practice bending, watching and letting go? Reflection reveals the truth. The steady mind is not empty of experience, it is fully aware, fully alive, yet untouched. At its center, Buddhism reminds us that the unbreakable mind is not shaped by avoiding pain but by accepting impermanence and releasing attachment. Like bamboo, we can move with life's currents without breaking, discovering strength in flexibility and freedom in letting go. So when life strikes hard, remember, resisting too tightly may shatter you, but flowing, yielding and observing keeps your true self safe. You may bend, you may sway, you may feel hurt, but the unshaken mind stays calm, steady and free. So I leave you with this thought: are you ready to live like bamboo, graceful in surrender, rooted in awareness and unbreakable through acceptance? For in gentle yielding lies the deepest and most lasting strength of all. A brief reminder of the principles: the cracks of expectation. Expectations create weakness within, because when reality fails to meet our desires, the mind breaks under disappointment. Letting go of rigid expectations closes those cracks and brings back peace, calmness. The shield no blade can cut. Real strength is not in resistance but in staying calm when life turns chaotic. Calmness protects the mind more strongly than anger or fear ever can. Detachment is not indifference, it means caring without holding too tightly. When we release control, we open space for deeper compassion and peace. The quiet discipline of thought. Without discipline, the mind stays restless and unsettled. Guiding thoughts through silence, mindfulness and awareness brings back mastery and balance, turning pain into inner fire. Pain is not the finish but a doorway to strength. Each wound carries the chance to be turned into wisdom and resilience. The quiet strength of patience. Impatience destroys peace by pushing life before its time. Patience teaches us to trust the natural rhythm of time and growth. Resilience in the gap between thoughts. Freedom lives in the pores between thoughts. Learning to rest in those gaps gives the mind steady resilience against chaos. Freedom from emotional traps. We suffer most when we get caught in others' negativity. By choosing not to react, we free ourselves from hooks and manipulation. The mind like an unmoving mountain. Life storms cannot shake a rooted mind. When awareness grows deep, outside challenges lose their power to disturb strength in allowing endings. Endings are not failures, they are natural. Accepting closures with grace opens the way for new beginnings to rise. Awareness, the unshaken core. Emotions come and go but awareness itself remains untouched. Resting in awareness shows you the part of yourself that never breaks. The real meaning of the unbreakable mind. Being unbreakable is not about fighting against pain, but about moving with life. Flexibility and surrender shape a mind that cannot be destroyed. Life will test you, it will bring loss, betrayal and storms that come without warning, but what truly decides whether you break or rise is not what happens outside, it is how the mind reacts within. A calm, disciplined and compassionate mind is stronger than steel because it cannot be shaken by the world's noise. True strength is not in holding on but in letting go with grace. This is the heart of Buddhist wisdom: to bend without breaking, to flow without fear, to love without clinging and to live without grasping. When the mind is trained to rest in stillness, even the hardest strikes cannot crush you. Instead, they become the very ground where your true strength is uncovered. So I leave you with this thought: will you keep allowing life's chaos to control your emotions, or will you begin today to build an unbreakable mind rooted in calm and clarity? The choice is yours, and your freedom starts the moment you choose to walk this path. Remember to like and share this video. Share your thoughts in the comments for more uplifting. Remember to like this video if you are finding it useful, and subscribe if you have not already, so you will be notified of similar videos. Buddhist teachings on living a peaceful life. Close your eyes and meditate for 5 minutes. Just enjoy the music.